Turkish Stallone, Rosman, is a very confusing character. Also not confusing in any way, shape, or form. That's what's so confusing about him.
Just checking in with my fans. Just checking in. I'm in a beautiful location. Just checking in. Oh, what did you say, Sally? Oh, I can't show all my chest today. Remember to drop some coins there.
And Sally's like, why not? You showed us your cock last night.
Oh, Sally, I will turn off my comments. You are being bad.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Yo, it's bad TV in your ears. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one, Patrick Hickey.
Great to be here.
Baby Ruby, sister Baby Ruby, is calling in from where, Patrick?
The Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
The place where the water is just right to make the best bagels on the planet Earth.
Succession.
Godzilla, I think, climbed one of those buildings or something.
Artichoke pizza. Ray's.
Rayos.
Well, no, there's the original Ray's. Everybody's trying to find the original. Where's the original? Where's the original? You know what I mean? Kaylin's here too.
Hello.
So we have got a lot of stuff to break down tonight because we are covering 90 Day Fiancé. Now, I've been told that is an incorrect way to introduce this show because people who are diehards of this show, are you mentally well if you are, refer to it as what? The other way?
Before the 90 day.
Before the 90 days. Excuse me.
It's so important to get this right.
How is it not the other way? Because they're going.
They
to
have
the
a
places.
show called The Other Way. They already have a show called The Other Way.
Yeah.
Patrick, explain why it's different than this one for Dylan.
Well, I think I don't think I know the correct answer. However, I do believe The Other Way means that you might go live in a different country.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's the 90 days, right?
But the other way.
Right, but this one isn't 90 days.
No, they're only staying there for a couple weeks to feel it out. Hey, are you trying to con me? Is this a PayPal scam?
Right.
I'm going over there to spend a couple weeks as opposed to investing 90 days and I don't know, fucking Egypt to see if I want to marry you.
Well, so many thoughts right out of the gate. Yeah, you bring up the PayPal scam. It was shocking to me. We learned from that Vietnamese detective tonight that 80% of these are usually PayPal scams. But also, I thought it was similar to The Other Way because the deaf guy is going to the place with no running water. And when we were covering the show, there were lots of buckets and stuff like that in The Other Way, right? Am I correct in that?
It's been so long, Dylan. Forgive me.
Yeah, I shouldn't be getting all mired up in these guts.
What's important?
That's on me.
What's important is this particular version of the show, which I think is spectacular. I am so happy to be watching this show and covering it with Rubes and Dylan and Kaylin. I think I am emotionally invested in this show, Dylan. I am very emotionally invested.
Rubes, do you want to let Pat just get into his passports? Because he's kind of hammed up right now.
I would love to. Take it away, Pat.
All right. For example, in this episode, by the way, the episode was...
Kaylin, can you turn her up, please?
Sure.
The episode was titled Say Anything, right? And I recalled the famous scene from the film by the same name starring John Cusack. I wanted Ty Ray to have his boombox holding it up above his head moment, and where Carmela looks out the window and doesn't say, I'm a dude.
Yeah.
I wanted him to have a different moment.
Right.
Say anything moment.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Instead, it's someone who needs PayPal payments. Really sad.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Tyree. I'm rooting for David. Amanda, I love this storyline. She seems weirded out by this guy upon actually being in the same room with him.
Yeah.
Great television. Don't mess this up and water it down with pillow talk. The Other Way. Those cooked storylines when I have to have Barbara and Michael, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. And I don't want that guy from that little island, Samoa, and with those girls in Utah and their horrible father. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I want this. Keep doing this. This This is captivating.
Right.
100. What's our rating system?
Passports.
100 passports.
Rubes.
I thought that it was fantastic. I agree with Patrick. The more time we spend, the more emotionally taxing this is going to get in the best way possible. I think that these people are deranged. I think that every single one of them has something seriously traumatic and wrong with them. But it was a great episode. I think that Carmela and Christian have given us all a lot to think about.
Is she doing a bad job? I completely zoned out because she's too quiet, and I was trying to get Kaylin to turn her up, so I wasn't sure. She just hit a bong though, so she's very. She talks like
I wholeheartedly agree with everything that just came out of her mouth.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. That's why I said. But you were just so quiet. So I was talking to Kaylin, and I looked back, and you were all quiet still and kind of monotone. So I wasn't sure if you were doing a bad job or not.
No, she did a fantastic job. I hear her fine. Dylan, what are your passport score?
It seems like she wants to riposte.
I would just like to say that, first of all, I always speak like this. And second of all, you're quiet. So listen.
You're quiet. You're quiet.
No, I wasn't. And I was going to say 84 passports.
Thank you.
Now the show will pay, and I'll say 75 because I'm irritated.
Thank you. You're quiet.
Do you like the show, Dan?
I love this episode. We have got a battle of sadness tonight. Who is sadder? David? Who is sadder? David, who's deaf? Or Tyree, who is holding out hope that the person he has fallen in love with is not scamming him for money and is not a man. Now, we find out a lot of really interesting stuff about Tyree's La Ventura, as Juan Pablo would call it. Tyree has had an astounding amount of red flags raised for him. And to gain an insight into the headspace of somebody who would still go about trying to squeeze all the love they could out of this makes me want to cry. Also, a lot of subtitles tonight. Gotta say, not a fan. I do not like the subtitles, and not because I don't appreciate other people's cultures. Of course I don't. I just think it makes taking notes on reality television much more challenging. The ASL, I mean, I can't hear a single thing if I'm looking over here trying to write something down. That was the parlance, the language that Pat did not understand last week.
Right. Hey, Dylan, by the way, don't feel bad for these people. They're living their best lives. They put out this thing. They're trying to give these people this edit. Someone like David, like, oh, let's all feel bad for David. His life's horrible. Turns out the guy's fucking beaten off on live cam with his girlfriend night and day. Beaten off so much, the goddamn thing's red. David, if you're a listener, watch out. A red penis is very bad for you.
Well, and
it's like a piece of wood in your hands or sandpaper. You can wear that thing down. There's nothing there when you show up for your girlfriend. God damn it.
And Rubes, do you want to...
The reason that I'm sad about David is because I sometimes watch this show while I'm doing other things. Yeah. And I can't when it's David's scene.
You can't when it's David's scene.
Because you have to read. The Spanish, you can kind of like, you get enough from the cutaways. There's not an issue there.
Right.
The other cultures... Kidding, joking.
Joking. We love everybody.
Right.
Except for Yemen.
Yeah.
Razvan.
Actually, where is he? No, he's from Romania.
No, love Romania. Lovely basilicas. Their cuisine is beautiful. With just
very quickly, when she got off the plane, and I thought it was cruel that her connection was in Paris. And it's like the city of love.
I thought it was cruel. Bye-bye. I thought it was cruel that Pat said he wasn't sure if David was a listener or not. I thought that was cruel. That's what I thought was cruel. So let's get into the show. We begin with some homemade noodles, manja, with Gino and his family. Looks like a lovely family. And I would tell them, if you love this man, you have to mock him more. You have to make fun of him like Italians do. You have to make sure he takes the hats off. He can't keep wearing hats like this. Manja, make fun of him until he takes the hats off.
I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. At this meal, though, Dylan, it's really important to point out, this reminded Gino, it brought him back to a happier time, eating that spaghetti long before a spicy Latina was announcing to the world that his penis didn't work anymore.
Yeah. She is very transparent about how he does not have a functioning cock. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guy the only way you can reach climax is in the sink.
A bar of soap. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, bar of soap. Remember?
Yeah.
We remember.
Well, the thing that gets him off the most is fiscally conservative conversation. That's what gets his rocks off. But we'll get there. Mm-hmm. First, we have to sit down to manja this dinner, which Gino says was organized in his uncle's apartment common area.
Mm-hmm. What is difficult for you to understand?
Marco lives in an old person home.
Oh, is that what it is?
I believe so. He still appears to have his
druthers.
Yes, but I believe probably to save a few bucks, you can pretend like you drool on yourself. They'll give you a discount to stay at one of these places.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Rubes, is that the take you got?
Manja.
Marco is probably running that place roughshod, and I don't know if that's the expression, but he's probably fucking a lot of the old women in there.
Oh, yes.
Because he's pretty spry. He's got his druthers, but we have to move on. We talk about the upcoming trip, and the family begins digging into his financials, and this notion of a prenup comes up. And I was very confused why he would need a prenup, given that he can't afford to buy hair of any sort. He can't get hair.
There was something in their first season where he came into money. I think he said he has $600,000.
Okay. Well, I instantaneously understood why he would need a prenup, regardless of his wealth. I mean, you have to protect yourself from thrifty Latinas. They have this Hitler and Eva thing where he's like, "Are you going to divorce me when you get here?" And she's like, "No, I'm not going to do that.
No, I am going to eat you." He's like, "Oh, okay."
And then she does take all of his $600,000.
Oh, she's going to make him sign that contract later in the episode that if he dies, he'll all his belongings go to her.
Oh, she would kill in a heartbeat.
100%.
I could yeah.
I was going to say, what would be the most insane thing in the world, truly in the world, would be if she loved him. Like, could you imagine if she really, the things that she says she actually felt for this manja would be really good.
Well, I love that you brought that up, because at some point I have written down that she is mentally ill, because she's very she gets popped off at the thought of having anal sex with a beaten down substitute teacher who can never not wear a hat. I mean, you're out of your fucking mind.
Even his own family think he's a no-nutted turd.
Yeah.
They really do, with no confidence.
So it's not all roses and butt sex, though, with these two. Jasmine.
We cut to her in Panama.
She got a text from Gino's cousin. Now, Gino's cousin was accusing her of being into him only for the green card. She says green card cuculo. And then she talks about getting fucked in the ass quite a bit. But do you guys have anything from this?
Oh, sure. Let's break it down. So the ladies, she always brings out.
Green card cuculo.
Sex is always on Jasmine's mind. And the ladies all agree that a lack of sex as a Latina, it could kill them.
Right.
They got to get it all the time, right?
Right.
So Jasmine tells her friends that she just wants to see Gino and hold him and have his hat make for a weird shadow on the wall as they make love. And the friends point out that there's some big issues for the couple. Jasmine's getting so horny, she wants to stretch her asshole out for Gino's penis, which needs a wheelchair, not him, his penis, because it's old and it doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Very good.
But kind of like John McCain after he came out of the camp.
Right.
Yeah.
Loser.
Got shot down, didn't you?
You want to get to the part where the friends gift Jasmine butt plugs?
You know, I could declassify these, but I didn't.
Back to butt plugs. They're blue, and apparently the Smurfs were Jasmine's favorite cartoon.
Yeah. I gave them back.
Hey, no politics. We're talking about people that have a disease.
No. I'm just. It's not.
Jasmine loving Gino would be more insane than what he did. I want to make it clear. Like, it would be that nuts. And she might. It's a genuine possibility, in my opinion, because of the mental illness.
We're looking at like kind of like quantum breakthroughs, like that level of amazing on this show called 90 Day the Other Way. Pat, it's okay. We're not making any political messaging. It's just funny what happened.
Oh, all right. Well, let's just get back on track about her.
Can you imagine the lawyer's like, what's that under the table? And he's like, nothing. Are those classified documents? No, get out of here. It's funny. All right.
Let's talk more about an asshole being stretched.
So let's talk about an asshole being stretched.
I want to talk to her. Jasmine, be careful. Anals for special occasions, birthdays and Easter. You turn this into an every Tuesday thing. The next thing you know, the thing's going to be dragging on the street as you walk. You know what I mean?
On the street?
Yeah. You're not meant to be doing that, man. Just special occasions, Easter and birthdays, you know? Are you going to say something, Ruby?
I was going to say, what's on the street?
Her asshole?
Yeah.
But your butthole can fall out?
Yeah,
it's
prolapse.
Well, it can prolapse, but Pat is being hyperbolic.
Is there ever a possibility that it could reach the street?
No, I don't think so.
If you do it as much as she's planning on.
I agree with you, though. That is for special occasions, Easter and birthdays. Easter to kind of, I guess, what kind of unearth an empty tomb or something like that? Like, why would it?
I think, can I, because life is about balance.
Eggs? Something about eggs? Yeah.
He's risen and you've fallen because your butthole's fallen to the street.
I just thought it's because it's fun. Lots of bunny rabbits.
Okay. Fuck,
Patrick,
man.
that's very good, actually.
So, we move on to Gino in hat going to the airport, and Manja is driving him. He says that he fucking hates that bitch, and you can tell that Uncle Marco doesn't take no shit like his pussy nephew Gino. I'm kidding. His uncle is very, very sweet, but I do think he's just like, love you very much, make that, deceitful Latina sign that prenup or don't come home. He's getting close to what's the word where you what's that word where you sign somebody off. It's family. You go, you're
written out of the will.
No. It's like excommunication, but
emancipated.
No, Ruby. Uncle Manja wipes his hands of Gino if he doesn't come back with a prenup with that deceitful Latina signature on it.
I want to point out something. This is a man of a certain age. While Marco does seem like he has his druthers and he's living in an old person's home.
Yeah.
Call an Uber, Gino. You're making this old man wake up. How fucking old are you?
Can't stand people who ask for rides to the airport.
Never ask me for a ride to the airport.
Unless you are direct family, do not ask me for a ride to the airport. It's absolutely insane.
Now,
even then, we need to talk about where both parties are starting from and ending and what time of day it is, because probably you should just still take an Uber.
Yeah. Burbank, no problem. Burbank, no problem.
But for Manja Manja, it should always be a problem because he has to take money from the women at the nursing home. So
That's
Gino
true.
can take it.
And he could die at any minute.
Now Uncle Marco does leave parting words as Gino gets on the plane. He says he hopes her boobs don't put old Jesus sandals under her spell.
Yeah.
I want to coach Uncle Marco up. She's far more evolved than that. If she does, her secret weapon is a stretched out asshole.
Mm-hmm. You need to stop, man. You are getting uncomfortable with me doing that hilarious jag about how the former president of the United States just had papers all over the place, and people were like, "Hey, are these important?" He was like, "No, get out of here."
Well,
I think that's
half
funny.
Our listeners will go, didn't they find some of them in Biden's garage? And then they'll go, and then the others will go, hey, didn't
yes,
they?
of course.
Stop it.
Arrest all presidents.
Exactly.
And then he would be like, wait, what garage? Where? Hold on.
Okay.
No politics.
No politics.
I was evening. Patrick.
They were black kids. I was rubbing their legs. All right.
Can I ask a question? Just really quickly.
Us as Americans are not satisfied with the choices we have. We're just not.
Agreed. My next question, in a similar vein, do you guys think that Gino has like something very, very dark inside him? Or do you think he's just a normal sad?
No. I think he's a complete mark. And I think that he's riddled with anxiety and ambivalence and is depressed. And she is, for some reason, I don't know if it's predatory. I don't know if we're splitting the atom again, like you said. She's... Yeah.
Ruby's picking up on something.
It's not that wide.
He comes off to me as someone who definitely paid for prostitutes. He's a weirdo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and this is like his third relationship dating a girl in South America.
Can you just use your feet?
I was going to say, like, he pays for prostitutes with, like, weird, but, like, I think he does dangerous weirds. Not to kink shame anybody, but I think that he might, I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
May I cut you for $125 extra? Where? So he arrives in Panama. They make out in a kind of Fairly Brothers kind of way.
Oh yeah.
And you know, that's what I love about Panamanian airports. You can go right up to the gate like we used to.
Oh, I missed that.
Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Before
Dick Cheney and George Bush blew the fucking Twin Towers up. It was such a good time to travel.
Thank you. So she says if they were in private, her lipstick would not be on his face, but rather his dick. Mm-hmm. And then she calls it her favorite cut of meat, spins him around and says, model for me, bitch. I am with Manja Manja. I have concerns.
Gino, don't sign that will. You'll end up on Dateline. Patty will love it because I love murder, 100%. But you'll be dead. Don't sign that, Gino.
But why did he go back to New Jersey? That was a terrible Dateline.
Why did he actually, though? Why is it taking him so long to get this K1 visa? Is he just not doing it?
He's not. I think that he's just very lethargic in general.
Okay.
You know? Like, look at the solution to hide the head. It's just wear hats. It's just get hats. Like, that's a pretty duct tape on the hole in the canoe kind of solution. I think that's his approach to life.
Duct
and
tape.
with her, I have concerns. Kaylin, when you cut to her, is the zoom thing atop the screen? I mean, I'm just going to lose my mind. And you see the way he said yes? Like he has no shame about it. My God. I have concerns. I have concerns for you as well, Kaylin. All right, let's move on to another sad character on this show. That is Riley. He is eating pork rinds and he is driving to go see his father because he is leaving to go to Vietnam in a few days to see and meet the love of his life. I love that he said see and meet because that's important because you've never met.
Yes.
Do you have any more papers in here? I mean,
You've also, to be clear, never seen whoever this person is, as we now know.
Right. So Riley's father survived the PSYOP known as SARS-2, COVID-19, and he almost died, says Riley, but the stubborn son of a bitch made it. And in that seemed a little regret that he had made it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like he's tired of the way that his dad makes goat curry, and he wanted him to die. Yeah.
Wow. I'm not sure if I got that, but
I did.
But a lot of people, there used to be a billboard on Ventura Boulevard. It was for some investment firm or something. It said, waiting around for your parents to die shouldn't be your retirement plan.
Yeah, no, that's a bad.
But it is, I guess, for a lot of people. If he just fucking dies, I'll get the house,
Yeah.
I think that I take it back what I said. This show isn't all sad. I don't know that I'm sad about Riley because I think he might just be bad and like looking for a small Asian woman to
lay on top of.
Yeah.
Riley, Ruby, I love what you're picking up about Riley. Riley is a control freak. He is where he is because of Riley's actions. I know he spins this story, or shares this story about being hurt countless times, but what role did he have to play in it? He's trying to hire a private investigator. If you have to do that, don't even fucking go over there. I don't like Riley. I think there's going to, one of the issues about being a cast member on the show is Twitter or whatever, Reddit will start digging up stuff on you. Ex-girlfriends will start talking. I think there's more to this story about Riley.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Like police reports or something. Yeah. I also don't like that his dad thinks it's really lovely that his favorite child, only comes to see him once a week. I think that that's sad.
No, that's not sad. That's a good amount of times to see somebody, I think.
Not the people who gave you life after they've almost died. Maybe see them more often.
You actually should back up.
Oh, okay, Dylan. Manja
to you, quiet girl. I am still so enraged at Kaylin right now that I can't.
You can't let it go?
I can't let it go because there is the just people who are listening on Ruby's screen. Oh, this is a good plug for Bad TV.
Oh, yeah.
Go to Bad TV, the YouTube channel. At the top will be your standard Apple bar, Apple, Zoom, meeting, view, the whole thing. And I'm like, is that up there? And Kaylin's like, yeah, what's the problem? And as though watching that on YouTube would not be like, oh, well, this looks like amateur horse shit. You know what I mean? But Kaylin's like, of course it's up there. I mean, what are we going to do? Yeah. And also, he's a feet away. There's nothing we can do now about it.
That's right.
There's nothing we can do now about it. He's made a mistake,
and that's fine. None of us are perfect. There was only one perfect person, and he died on the cross for all our sins. And Kaylin is, Kaylin, you're not going to let that happen again, are you?
No.
There you go. See, let's move on.
But he said that with a lack of commitment to the future betterment. And I have concerns. Thank you. Jesus was the only perfect person. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Now, Dylan, back to the show. And this is a real important point here because Dad, right out of the gate, has the same question for his son that you've had for years. Well, remember we recapped this show a couple years ago, and you pointed out, and it was a great question, what kind of disease is this?
Yeah.
Can't you find a nice person living in town? Why do you have to fly around the world for someone else?
Yeah.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
What kind of disease is this? You and Carlson are on the same page.
Is that his name, Carlson?
I think so, yeah.
Carlson's got some beautiful chompers, and you know what else he has? A beautiful relationship with his son, kind of. I think it's sweet. I do agree that post a brush with death, you should probably check in a little bit more often, just because it's such a strong kind of reminder about the fragility of life. But I do love that they have this tradition of goat curry. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I don't think it's nice that Carlson is trying to slide in and fuck Riley's Vietnamese love. He was texting her on the side about how big of a piece of shit his son is. And he's like, listen, I have my concerns, but I don't want to be in the middle of this. What do you mean? You've been texting the girlfriend who lives in Vietnam. Now, Carlson, you are a shady character.
Now, Dylan, this is often my lane where I kind of screw up the info of the show.
Yeah.
I believe it was, in fact, Violet that sent Carlson 150 texts that he has not responded to.
Not
Ruby,
what I
you
saw.
be the judge, Ruby.
He had answered some of them. Most of them were just like her being insane and rambling, but there were a couple that were like, I will never know your son and his love. I will never be your daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know, and I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
And maybe you could not, or here's an idea. Tell your son.
Right. Tell your son, and also don't send text messages to your son's foreign girlfriend saying you up, because you don't understand the context. You're just it's mimicry. Mm-hmm. You know, because an elderly person's not going to say you up, honestly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we move on.
Well, it's worth noting that both read that correctly, as it was this thing that the motive of Violet was to use his father to get to him emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Violet is a shifty bitch. Is that too much? No, I mean, she sounds like she's probably really cool. I mean, she looks to be a great mother, but we'll get to know her more next week. Let's get to something that is from the minds of Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, and that is a man zooming with a Vietnamese private eye who...
While puffing away on Monte Cristos.
Right, while puffing away on Monte Cristos. Riley does that thing, we've all done it before, when you're speaking to somebody who is... ESL, you raise the volume so that the words they don't understand can just be said louder.
What's the percentage of international relationships that are scams?
Yeah.
I'm
trepidatious about this.
Riley, you're doing a Zoom call. You're not in a helicopter. Yeah. You fucking moron.
Yeah, but
also,
we've all
the
done
poor
it.
man is just like, yeah. I can help you.
Well,
and then he says, clearly, in my opinion, here's the question. When you ask when you scream, what percentage of this is whatever going to go badly?
Yeah.
Do you think that the Vietnamese private investigator ever in his right mind would say 18%? Do you think he would?
Right.
No.
Right.
He also, 80 and 40 don't sound alike. And he's like, oh, no, it's not. No, he says 20% less than every single time. So do with that what you will.
Now, I want to say this. The investigator, this is what perks Riley's interest. The investigator says, hey, I can tailor car.
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I used American slang to tell you about that specific service. But yeah, we do wrap this story with Riley finding out from the Vietnamese private eye that, yes, 80% of oddballs from the United States who are looking for Vietnamese women do get taken for a ride.
Mm-hmm. And Riley, this says something about you, sir. You end that Zoom call by saying, I don't think I'm going to use your services right now, but thank you for your time. His time is worth money, sir. Just very much like yours, Riley. Do you work for nothing, sir? You asked that man at the end of the call, how much do I owe you? It's a waste of his time.
Oh my God, Patrick.
I hope he paid him for I hope that guy doesn't just do free consultations. That would be absurd.
I think you need to do a free consultation when you got a boots on the ground kind of business.
Bullshit. Give me the information I need to know, and then we can hop on a call, or I can go to the other American people. Because again, almost every single time this doesn't work out.
I'd love to be a private eye.
Me too. It's like a dream job.
That would be fun.
Do you know, I dated a girl like 10 years ago that her job was actually to type out. I mean, she was kind of like an assistant to a private eye. She'd type out everything in the secret recordings. So she got to hear some crazy shit.
What do you mean?
Well, the private eye would like go talk to people or something, and she'd what do you call it, like a stenographer? Is that what a court reporter does? Whatever.
Yeah.
She did basically that. She was getting kind of tired. She thought it'd be like more fun, like rolling on the hoods of cars and chasing after bad guys and whatnot. It turns out she just listened to recordings and then she wrote what they said down.
Well, not just wrote in that very odd way that looks like it's from Dune or something, where they put their entire forearm on the keys and it says like jury.
And they're like, and then they read it perfectly.
All right, so let's get to Tyree, the saddest man of Before the 90 Day.
Oh, there's been sadder.
Carmela's a man.
She's a man.
How do they know? They have an audio recording of Carmela saying, "Hi, I'm a man named Christian." And he's like, "Wait on it. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I'm going to need more evidence." Okay. I watch Catfish. I know how this all works. I'm an absolute expert. I know when scams are scams, except for the part for the last 4 years. I've been okay with refusals to do a video chat, speak on the phone, communicate exclusively through Snapchat only, plan a trip, show up to Barbados where I get ghosted. Oh, and those pesky PayPal accounts. But yet, I know all the traits seen on the show Catfish.
And this is where it gets very, very sad, because somewhere in there is someone going, manja, you know this isn't right. You know what I mean? And that voice is ignored in favor of mental illness. You know, but he knows what's going on. He knows that's Christian, and he's thinking maybe it could work.
Well, later that night, he says, I feel like I've been dating a ghost. Yeah, a ghost with a penis named Christian that's been scamming you.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have $50?
Yeah. What's that great horror series that we watched with the two
Paranormal?
No, the couple with Vera Farmiga and the other guy.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring, yeah. That's like the fourth Conjuring. I guess.
The walls are talking to me, man.
Yeah.
They might stare at my phone. It just looks like a PayPal request.
Yeah,
Why are you doing this to me?
No, I don't like you acting it out.
It was so sad. Also, when he's talking about going to Barbados and he says, I got there and then I had to I was there for like 5 days. I couldn't do anything for 3. And then the quarantine was over and then she didn't show up.
Yeah.
He was like, that was hurtful. And then he was like, I felt really bad about that, especially because I like had to take time away from my mom.
Okay.
And then I was reminded about his mom.
So hands down, saddest line of the night. Two of the saddest things with Tyree is the uncomfortable walking around. Such a small apartment, and he wants to move around a lot because he's not sure what's going on, except he does. And he's okay if it's a guy. He just needs to break down the veneer to see if they can fall in love. Second, he left to go to Barbados. And when he said it was especially tough because he had to leave his mom, cry, she had a stroke. He rehabilitates her in the 1-bedroom apartment. And he's sucking down red ciders. I mean, what the fuck is going on? He's getting tanked on ciders. That's how sad he is. He's in a Hemingway-like depression right now.
I want to talk about the motives of Christian. Because for $50 a month, which is what Tyree admitted that he'd been sending Carmela.
Yeah.
This seems like a lot of work to collect $50.
Okay, great question I have right now for you guys. Who is more mentally ill, Tyree or Christian?
Answer. I would think I think that Christian is more of a menace to society, but Tyree is more mentally ill because he's doing it knowing that this doesn't add up, but the harm he's causing is to himself.
Right.
I will say this, though. Remember, we were on a text exchange before we all chose that we would do this show. I said, this show is about loneliness, and the emotion of loneliness is a powerful emotion because it allows you to disregard logic, gut feelings, all of it. Loneliness.
When you're lonely, you start Snapchatting with women named Carmela, and before you know it, you've dropped $7,000 to go to Barbados to see quite literally no one.
Yeah.
And you come back home and you are getting tanked on red ciders because you're in a clinical depression. I mean, it's really not good. But tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow. It's a song of optimism, and I think that's what we have here. The next day, Tyree sits down with his siblings. And finally, I'm like, okay, he has someone in his life. They've done a poor job, much like the Italians who have not yet mocked the hats off of Gino. These two need to intervene.
I love Ronald and Lashanti. Although they're not taking care of their fucking mother.
No, they're not. And you could argue, although probably not given the stroke, but which one of these needs to be cared for the most? Tyree or the mom? Because
it was very irresponsible to leave the two of them together. And I'm not saying that.
Oh, yeah.
It was irresponsible of their family members to allow them to be the only ones to care for each other.
100%.
This is your fault. How does it feel? All right? How does it feel?
So this is where we get a kind of coloring of the relationship, what with the quarantine and all that sadness and stuff. And we then hold hands as though we are at some seance, summoning some ghost named Christian who's trying to scam people out of PayPal money. And we listen to the clip.
All right. I would say I loved this part of the show because this is what's amazing about producers. So the brother Ronald, he's like, well, it was also Lashanti. They're like, they convince him. They're like, I really think, I think we should listen to the tape. And he's like, I don't know. And then Patrick, the producer, jumped in. I have it right here.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's right on hand.
And she's like, hello, how are you? And the guy's like, I'm great. How are you? My name's Christian. I'm Carmela. And Tyree's like,
no. But then again, but he can't go very far because it's so small. So then he doesn't, so it's just like everything. And I know he's at the restaurant, but it's just like he can't walk very. What is he going to do? Run away? Like you can't. You're being filmed. You have a camera of people.
Well, that's not why he can't run away.
That's why I was saying he can't run away.
But that's not why he can't run away.
I want the producers to let this story go. I want one more little vignette about him just basically taking this in. I can't watch an 8-episode arc of them having to get him on the phone with Christian, try and understand why he was doing this. The answer is clear. Christian's a sick person that wanted $50, and that's it.
And Tyree he has not the disposition to sit across from somebody who is that awful and have the audience get any meaningful kind of penance delivered to that person.
Why'd you do this to me, man?
He's just too nice.
Why'd you do this
sad.
to me? I wanted $50.
He's like, I would have just given it to you if you had asked. It would be, you need somebody like Angela, like Michael. We need her to sit across from
Get all these goofballs out of here, Michael.
All right, we move on to Widow Amanda. She is very excited to find the true love that God has given her.
This is the story I'm most engaged with.
I'm kind of engaged with it as well, because Turkish Stallone, Rosman, is a very confusing character. Also, not confusing in any way, shape, or form. That's what's so confusing about him.
Just checking in with my fans. Just checking in. I'm in a beautiful location. Just checking in. Oh, what did you say, Sally? Oh, I can't show all my chest today. Remember to drop some coins there.
And Sally's like, why not? You showed us your cock last night.
Oh, Sally, I will turn off my comments. You are being bad.
All right, so he says the best thing about social media is not the $2,000 a month. It's that he met Amanda. I'd hope so. Before we get to Amanda, let's meet his friend first, though, because they're friends because they
did a porn together.
They did a porn together.
Yeah. So, they're Romanian actors.
So that's
By the
what
way-
they did. It was a porn together. And he's like, listen, I've had problems with women. And she's like, well, I know. And he's like, I wish all relationships with women could be like our relationship, where I'm a barkeep and you're a witch or something.
Oh, that's definitely what their movie was.
I want to say.
The barkeep and the witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Patrick. What were you going to
Oh,
say?
I was going to say, I love how he framed the introduction of their relationship as they're very good friends, except she has no idea who Amanda is, that he's been dating for 4 months.
Yeah.
No idea that she's coming out here and they might get engaged.
Yeah.
They're such great friends.
Yeah. And the question is, did they have sex that night?
Well, there's no question. The answer is yes.
But
we know.
that's what's so confusing about Brosman. I feel as though there is a world wherein he didn't. I feel as though there's a world wherein Brosman says, when you cast the spell on me and I evaded it in that porn, and you being the witch, having cast so many spells on people and having them all worked, and this one not working turned you on.
Mm-hmm.
I need to respect the relationship with Amanda.
Well, all jokes aside, I think he's far too calculated. He's gotten this far. Look, he aspires to be all the greats right now. Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's
Chris Pratt.
Yeah. He didn't mention him though, but he's made his way onto
Van
a
Damme.
television show.
Oh yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next stop, America, and then of course soap operas.
It's really bizarre. In Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme makes the sound all the time. He constantly makes that sound. It's a very odd thing. It's like his signature noise in the Kumite. All right, we got to move on.
It's been a while.
I have to say really quickly to put your delusion Delulu to rest.
Yeah.
He met Amanda doing the TikTok slut dances when she gave him a rose. And
Yeah.
also was a little segment in that period of time when he was speaking and unbuttoning his shirts, when he was like, Amanda is my American girlfriend and she gets here tomorrow or whatever. And I was like, I don't think that was a language barrier issue. I think that he in his head has to differentiate between like his French girlfriend, his Brazilian girlfriend, his American girlfriend, because he has a lot of these people that are giving him money that he's fucking.
Yeah. But
Manja.
so they keep talking about how people are jealous of the kind of acting, the kind of work they do, and it's like people are not jealous of actors. No one is jealous that someone is in Corky Romano. They are jealous that you're in a gangbang. That's problematic. So we get to the airport, and I just got to say, this is a stunning and beautiful moment. You know, they have a lovely kiss, and Ruby has a fucking cold, quiet heart, so she can't see how manja delicious this love is. You're just kind of completely closed off to it. I think you're correct, but I mean, live a little. This was McAdams and Gosling without the rain.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it was better than that.
Thank you.
She was so instantaneously, like when she saw him, like she just became like like so comfortable, like at ease. Like it was like instead of like like she could breathe, she could smile. Like it was like really cool.
Yeah.
He did truthfully though look like he was over the moon, which was so confusing.
It's so cute that he was like that, but yeah, she does almost instantaneously have a panic attack,
100%.
wondering, what have I done? I'm in Romania, my kids are so far away, and my husband's dead.
Is the first moment of like just the realization of what you've done.
Manja, baby.
Holy shit.
Manja. God.
Man, this is going to be so fun. Do I think they're going to bang like bunny rabbits? Absolutely. Do I think that this is really, she's going to suss this out like and emotionally kind of reset herself? Like, all right, this was just a fun trip of banging away a really hot looking guy.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to America.
Hopefully, but she seems to be divinely guided, which I am concerned about.
Yeah, she said, God.
Yeah.
Put this little thing together.
But
not just for her, but also for the children.
And I love the children so much. Despite the loss of their father, despite their mom's irresponsible actions, and don't come at me. She shouldn't be in Romania. Don't fucking come at me.
I got Dylan's back on this one, people.
My God. She's nice and she's going through a lot. Don't care. Shouldn't be with Rosman in
bang
Romania.
the bartender at the local tavern. Don't leave for 3 weeks and start.
Bad parent. Alert. Come at me. Come at me. I don't have kids and I don't give a shit what you say. Don't go to Romania and leave your children for a 26-year-old that you want to fuck that you've known for 4 months when their dad died. You're being the bad parent.
Bad parent. Manja.
Manja. Also, Patrick, I just want you to know, because I don't know that he speaks ASL, this is clapping.
That is clapping. That is clapping.
So what do we cut to the apartment?
No. Sorry. These children, despite the bad parenting and the parent that is now in heaven, have great heads on their shoulders. But it is sad to see the antenna of the little boy have to rise up so early. But when called upon, he is that, truffle sniffing dog. He's trying to protect his mom from bullshit.
Like, where the fuck are you sleeping, Rosvan? I know where mommy's sleeping. I see the bed behind you. Where the fuck is this guy sleeping?
Hey, Rosman, let me ask you a fucking question there, buddy, huh? Yeah, come close to the camera. Come close to the camera. Where the fuck is my mother sleeping tonight? How old are you, buddy? Are you 3.5 years old?
All right, all jokes aside, there's a couple things here that are really big tells. First off, he's bragging about that he's making money as a fucking TikTok sensation. Then get her a goddamn hotel room, right? So that she can go get cleaned up, because being on in an airplane for fucking 20 hours, that's first part. Second is, this is wildly inappropriate, and let her stay at her own place, her own space, get comfortable, and then go on romantic dates and get to know each other.
I think so too. I don't think he has the means, but when she comes to the apartment, we start to see some jigsaw-like stuff happening. There's no counter space. His entire Bateman-like routine is laid out on the lip of the sink, and she snaps. She just has a little bit of a snap, and I don't blame her, because this is a very bad decision she's making. But then we get, what's up, Rubes?
I was going to say, he handles it very well, I thought. I thought he really was.
He did. That's what's so confusing about this. He's like being patient with her.
What's he supposed to do? Hey, shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, we've seen people do some pretty crazy stuff before on this show.
You could also say, hey, is there a reason that you're being a fucking insane person out of nowhere right now? Right. Or are you having a panic attack? Because you're being mean for no reason.
Yeah, no, he's just really patient with her. And then
weird.
All of the good graces that he's earned with that patience is thrown out the window when he not so slyly tries to fuck her on the first night. I mean, that's just what...
That was what he's trying to do.
He's trying to fuck her on the first night. Yep. He's like, oh, hello, I know that you've given me crypto roses for my hot body, but now it's here in the flesh. So, and good for her for saying, no, get away from me.
I still think they banged the hell out of each other.
Well, I mean, carnals. Manja. All right,
see those abs? I'd have a hard time turning that down. What are you going to say, Rubes?
Oh, she was just clapping. All right, so let's get to David, the only story even remotely close to Tyree's sadness.
I feel positive about it, Dylan.
How? How?
I think Sheila's a lovely person.
Oh, okay, so let's do this. Let's break down what's going on, and then we'll just revisit whether it's sad or not.
Great.
Let's start now. Late 40s deaf man, kind of by himself, no real friends, one bartender who kind of knows him but also thinks he's very creepy, speaks through robot phone.
How about Carlos?
Carlos is there.
Carlos doesn't like him and is not nice to him. So I don't know who Carlos is. Not a good friend. Maybe a friend. But so he's alone.
I'm glad you brought that up because David...
Can I finish?
Oh, sure.
David, mid-40s, alone, 2 jobs, more perfect union, walks through the streets, almost gets run over by scooters, going to the Philippines to find the love of his life who has no running water and also has a bit of a hearing issue because of a game called Broomstick. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so good or bad?
Look, one person's sadness is another person's paradise, Dylan.
To a certain degree.
That was good, Pat. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He seems happy. Look, I had no idea they were having video sex with each other.
That's the one thing that makes it not sad is he's just such a giant creep.
Can you imagine living next to him, by the way? And he's like, he's masturbating, he's beating off, and it turns out he's like a loud comer, Yeah. And it's like, hey, shut the fuck up. We're sharing a wall with my kids, man. Come on. It's third time today.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Stop, man.
Yeah.
But then
David can't hear him, so he keeps doing it.
He doesn't read lips, so he just stares, and he's like, I don't know why she gets so angry every time I come, and then she gets mad. But then our sex is like very fun, and then on her OTF, she's crying because her son is like, I hate hearing them. And David's just like,
we're all going to hell.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's talk about her home. It is.
Well, 1 second. Carlos drops David off at the airport, and he tells us, well, actually, on their way to the airport, Carlos tells David he doesn't think this is going to work out, and he says something sweet. And if it doesn't, I'll come pick you up. And then that's when David said, watch the road, asshole. I don't even know how he said that with sign language. But he said that.
Did he say that really?
He said, watch the road.
See, I missed it because it was just one of those moments where I was looking at my notes, and ASL is the quietest language.
Very quiet.
It's so quiet.
Barely hear it.
I will say to what's going on, Roops?
That was good. I'm sorry.
Oh, the network that produces this television show, the Learning Channel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop with the Normandy mortar explosion effect when David is walking
we
through
get
public
it.
places.
We don't need the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, please.
It would be better if it was just completely silent.
Yeah.
But when they did the interviews, they did like all the white noise from like the background, like producers like moving stuff. Like,
right.
Sorry. All right. Let's one more
reset.
It would be reset. Like No Country for Old Men, but with David.
So better.
Are you? I don't know. We don't want to get into cinema talk right now.
Right.
We don't want to get into cinema talk, but go to Patreon. I need to break down my entire solo movie experience. Went to one of these movie theaters with the waiters. It's just, I can't understand why it's a thing. I can't understand why anyone needs to eat a Cobb salad in the middle of a movie.
Did I ever tell you the time someone brought Chinese food into a movie?
I'll tell you about the time a waiter gave it to the person sitting next to me in a movie. No, but that's insane. You're like Ruby. Ruby brings hot food into public places all the time. It's disgusting.
First of all, let's not be ridiculous. It's not like I bring into public places.
Airplanes.
yeah, when I go on a 6-hour flight, Dylan, the worst possible thing I can be is hungry for everyone, myself included. And I'm not going to do it. I will bring multiple meals on that plane.
Yeah.
And every person will look at me and say, fuck, I wish I brought something on this plane.
No, they don't look at you. They go, that tuna smells. You should have gotten something processed in cellophane. Why can't you just eat crackers? We can't fight right now.
I'm not a loser. And also, I'm not getting tuna, Dylan. I'm getting beautiful, beautiful things from the lemonade in the terminal. I'm getting wonderful salads.
The lemonade?
They've branched off into airports?
There's a lemonade? It must be in JFK.
No, Dylan. It's in Los Angeles International Airport Terminal 4, I think is JetBlue.
Oh, whoa. That's really exciting.
Lemonade, I think they... scale too fast. I think we're going to start seeing some closures pretty soon.
Never been to a lemonade in my life. I don't like buffets.
They get a little cute with everything.
All right.
Only at the airport.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Philippines. Sheila.
But yeah, you hit a button and the waiter comes down. It's like, what can I get you? It's like, what?
It's like the goddamn Jetsons, man. That's what we all wanted, right?
It was like the Jetsons in that there was this stream of people coming like ants. Anyways, we'll talk about it. So, yes.
Sheila plays with her kids.
Yeah, we find out that she's not doing too great. She doesn't have, quote unquote, a lot of electricity, and she has to get water from a well, and she stabbed her eardrum out playing a game called Broomstick.
Well, hold on, Dylan. You're bouncing all over the place.
And also there's an angle of her playing with her child that was very Rear Window and very creepy to me. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was like kind of obstructed by a little bit of concrete, like it wasn't supposed to be there. I was like, oh my God.
Well, it's probably because she said her son's favorite game to play with her is he farts in her face, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
Sheila lives with her parents in a damaged home, get this, that was ravaged by a typhoon, a fire,
a
tsunami, and a fight between Superman and General Zod. They really fucked that place up, man. Yeah, it's still standing, though.
The director wanted to film in the Philippines.
Oh my God. And Sheila was like, no, I don't. My son lives here. We don't feel comfortable with that. And so then they built a stage instead of giving her the millions of dollars.
It's cheaper to build in LA, man.
So we find out about this horrifying game called Broomstick. I don't know how you play it.
Well,
but it sounds like it's less of a game and more of a prank that kids played on her to ruin her hearing for the rest of her life.
Dylan, you didn't read into it. We learned that it was a lively game of Quidditch. Big Harry Potter fan.
Oh, really?
They went awry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. She is our age, so I do think that she is. She might be an HP fan. You know, that book was translated into a lot of different languages. One that it wasn't translated into, ASL. That wouldn't work.
That's saying you're pissed.
We wrap with them going, don't worry about it. We wrap with them going to buy some flip-flops.
She's taking her best friends out, Mars and Pluto.
Yeah, that is when, don't even get the joke, but we've been going so long. That is when Sheila says, it's crazy, David pulls his cock out all the time.
She said it's redder than Rudolph's nose.
Yeah.
Probably burned in a fire or something.
Uh-huh. That's what's so dangerous about being hard of hearing. One of those pesky fires just climbs up behind you, singes your cock. You didn't hear it coming.
Pun.
Yeah. All right, that's it for us.
They're going to hell.
That's it for us. Join us on Patreon. Ad-free episodes. Ruby, me, and Patrick will be breaking down Vanderpump Rules. I think we're doing what this week?
Episode 1.
No. We're doing...
we'll do a little bit of the...
Episode 1.
Oh, go ahead, Ruby. I'm sorry.
You're just secrets revealed.
We're just going to do secrets revealed. There's going to be a lot of juice in that, I think.
Oh, you don't want to start with episode 1 of Vanderpump? We can do secrets revealed.
I think we're going to, we'll talk about it, but I think we're going to do secrets revealed at patreon.com. Join us on social media, Bad TV Podcast. Join us on YouTube. YouTube is a site where you watch videos. I'm Dylan. Say goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes!
Ruby.
Bye-bye.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.